Good morning and welcome back to Cooking with Kale. I'm your host, Adam. Just kidding, I'm Kale. And we're working on some hybrid embedded C++, which is C++ that uses optional dynamic memory and you can program firmware with it. This is my hour of seconds, and I'm going to be doing 1 hour timed on my secondary project. Which I said yesterday I was going to switch over to another project because this thing has been my main thread. But yeah, I don't really have the bandwidth to do that right now. So you can find this project at github.com/kabuki starship/script2. And I'm going to throw a timer on apparently for 50 minutes. So what happened yesterday? Wait, let me turn that off again. All right, what did I do? So I have a data specification. Apparently I forgot to load. Oh, my cameras are going to glitch. Visual Studio Code will glitch my whole computer and camera setup. Oh, never mind. Actually, this capture card I'm using is definitely better. This is the AArray GC571 PCI Express X1 Gen 3 4K 30 HDR10 capture card. Hold on, I can't get it to capture HDR10 in OBS in 4K. It'll do 2K. But I don't know. I'm actually thinking about filming 2K RAW and upscaling it to 4K because it has a good look to it. I was trying to start a little indie TV show called The Infinite Simulations. If I can get people to rally around me, honestly. I live in Eugene, Oregon, and people are ultra lib, and like after Trump caused so many problems, and I think people here are reasonable, but they're the most woke that you could get, and they just made a stink, and still trying to recover the local community here because it has been like a ghost town pretty much since COVID. All right, what am I doing? So I have the data spec, and the data spec has an ASCII array, which basically stores the size of the array as the first element. And so Izzy is going to have to be the same size as a T. And so in this thing, we don't have a T. All right. But it's way easier to use these things if you can use these macros. The array arguments, the array parameters, and the array class. That's what an array looks like. This is the composed contiguous ASCII data type. So I had a problem where I have an auto array. And so in this API, any function that starts with a T is a template. Hold on, no, wait, hold on. Any templated function that starts with a T. It's not the same for objects. It's only the same for functions to facilitate operator overload sets. So I had this auto array, and this was my base class, and it wasn't complying with the data spec. So it was working as intended, but it was not really correct in how I would go about creating an array on the stack. So in order to create an array on the stack, I have to have this guy right here. This Zimzer, this little doodad right here. Total init. And this is going to allow us to, let me open up the unit test if I can find it. So what did I do? Oh, shoot. It glitched. It didn't save. It didn't save these things. I should be able to re-add these real quick. Half the unit tests are gone because I inserted that unit test. So it should only take a moment for me to get that back. Eventually, I'll try to make this entertaining. I don't know what I'm going to post on this channel right now. This is a brand new channel. So we do what seems. Here we go. This is why I like this. Is so much more productive. I use right now, I switched over to a 15.5 inch 4K monitor and a 13.3 inch 1080p monitor. And then I have a main monitor, which is a 2K, either a 2K gaming monitor, I have two workstations, or an LG ultra wide. I like the LG ultra wide better. Personally, I would recommend the LG ultra wide. Personally, so you go into Seams, and then I'm gonna have to re-add these because they got. I'm not sure how, like if it didn't save it or what. Oh no! What happened? It says these files are already in the scope. No. Here they are. Okay. Little buggers. Oh, I got to turn on that timer, huh? Whee! All right. Here we go. Boy, that was totally not slick, huh? And then the list is not. Wait, I'm confused. The array is not in. Okay. All right, here we go. So this is why you want this particular format, because this is slick, especially when you can do ARY parameters. This is not too bad for what benefit you get out of this. Okay, because you could even leave these as the default parameters too. Hey, that's legit. That's totally cool. And what is this? So where's that array at? Maybe we want to go up to the top and then add. Maybe we want an auto array to be that. Sure. Yeah, that'll work. I like that. So now that we have it complying with the data spec with this TAutoject, now it works a lot better. So what do we got in the AutoJect? Sorry, I can't talk. What do we have in the auto object? We got the AutoJect, which stores the origin as a word aligned buffer, and then the RAM is the RAM factory. Auto object RAM factory. Ah. Okay. So I should have better explanation here. Okay, so the RAM factory creates and destroys Wait. Doesn't the memory? Doesn't delete. Wait. Either the RAM factory stack or wait, both. And the RAM factory heap deletes the dynamic memory. This allows a DLL to produce the memory and the exe to consume it, and vice versa. All right. Okay, that's better. So this thing is basically allowing us to grow okay. All right. All right. That's quite a bit better. So all we can do is just basically create a new block of memory, delete the old one. And then I used to have it so it could like tell you what type of object it is. But there's other ways of going about doing that. So I just simplified it down to this. So that's the .h. Some people have problems with 2 file headers. I use 3 file headers because it compiles as fast as humanly possible. Now, if I was going to make an app, I might not use a 3 file header. This is for an API. You know, it's not my preferred go-to technique. I would definitely use it 1 header or 1 file if I could do it, but this is in particular works pretty good for an API. Automatic object. Wait, what just happened? Oh, a templated. Auto object that has an optional buffer on the program stack. Wait, hold on. I almost said, yeah, it's a buffer. All right, so what is happening here? When I init the auto object, I'm gonna set the size, right? Wait, buffer size. Why am I lining up the buffer? Wait. So, boy, the bunnies are no headed. Boy, some bunnies are fighting. bunnies are doing, man. They're like banging around. They're not like fighting. They're like banging around. I don't know, that's kind of odd. Bunnies are interesting. I think they're cool for a studio. I accidentally had a bunch of babies and I can't find them homes. And the boys are the most difficult ones to take care of, a bunch of them. The girls are real clean. The boys, they pee. And it's problematic, and you can't have too many of them in one area. It's best to just have two of them in an area, actually. And then maybe if you have multiple of them, put them next to each other so they can lick each other's heads. But yeah, man, the boys been peeing on each other. And don't listen to the advice that you can't bathe a bunny. You can't. It's just like any other animal. They get rained on, dude. It's like the idea that you can't bathe a bunny is stupid. I wish I had never listened to that advice. Because the boys, they pee on each other, and you got to give them a bath every once in a while. I think I hear the girls going at it too. The boys are banging around, and then the girls start banging around. I have 20 rabbits, man. I can't find any homes for them. Everybody wants like a one that's already fixed, and then we have so many of them. It's like I got to get to a fundraiser to get them fixed or something. So what is this? What is going wrong here? I'm so sorry that was not what I wanted to do with my morning. I was really hoping to not have to deal with that, but man, those bunnies were just banging around. I think they're just like thumping their feet. It's like four of them in the house, all thumping their feet all at once, and it's just like like what the hell is going on with these rabbits, man? Eventually, I'll have some cameras hooked up so you can see the bunnies. I do have cameras, but like I swapped them out. So what's going on here? An auto object is not. Wait, can I not get the? All right, so let's say that this auto object is. Wait, that's the auto array. What is this? What happened? I'm sorry. Did I mess up? TArray get. Does this make sense? Um, no, wouldn't I just say it was begin index? Oh. Oh, I feel bad for the boys. It's like they can't stop being bad. It's like it's really unfortunate. It's like the girls are really clean. And then the boys, they just it's like their sex drive really makes their life not as good, dude. They need to be neutered. I think out of both of them, like the biggest problem is the boys not being neutered. Begin. And then this is what this? And for this one, I don't know if I could define the start for this. I can't actually define the start, can I? I don't know if I want to put it there. I'm just going to define this as the end. The end. It's not in, it's after the object. And I don't like that. I like to say points too. Now I can hear the girls thumping over there. Went over the boys, lifted up the house. You had all the dirty boys that pee on each other, all up in the house, just thumping on the on the ground, and they're all like, "Oh, what's going on?" Oh, it smelled so bad, like pee in there. Oh, I feel bad. I spent so much time on that house, and the boys are just like disgusting, dude. Start plus total, right? And then what's total? Hold on. Isn't this a size? And we don't know if it's a total right now, do we? Resize. Okay. So what does resize mean? We have an ASCII array which stores the element count is the first element. So we don't have anything to do with the count here. Count stop. Clone. Wait, do we? Hold on. Yeah, we could do that with this, actually. Yeah, because we could shrink this. With an array, we would do that. We could shrink or grow it. And then we would pad it with zeros. But that's the problem is that's like maybe a different operation than what I want for this. TArray start. Destination. Wait, why is this like this? Array source. Array start. Okay, I don't have access to any of these functions. T footer. Don't care what it is. Source. Size of. And byte copy is what? So the count new is the start minus the stop. Okay. If count stop is less than 1, we're going to use the total. Start has to be between 0 and the total. So what is bytes? What am I using this for? This one seems sus. So dest bytes. Wait, why am I growing? Because this is a clone function. No shit, surely. So I still would do this, huh? So this array copy is in the array.h file. So the functions that I would usually rely on would be in the array.hpp file. Or sorry. Yeah, we were looking in the AAutoject.hpp, right? So AAutoject.hpp, the problem with this one is I don't have array.hpp because array.hpp is going to include AAutoject.hpp. So I would have a circular inclusion problem. So this is this is a benefit of having a 3-file translation unit, or sorry, a three file module or submodule, right? Is that I'm actually able to, in this case, I'm able to avoid a circular inclusion problem by just importing this array.h, which just has some basic array functions. Array compare, shift up, shift down, fill, copy. Right, that looks pretty good. All right, let's just compile it and go for the next compiler. What's the next one? Don't have a huge list of errors here. I could probably get through this. So start. Now I begin. Because it's I don't know what the start and the stop of this thing is. Oh wait, no, I know what the start and the stop of this one is. This is the array. No. Do I need a count to have a start and a stop? Because the begin and the end, we know exactly where those ones are. They're at the beginning and the end, right? But like a start and a stop, what the hell does that mean? I mean, you start a. I mean, it's something you do in between the beginning and the end, right? I mean, you don't have the start and then the beginning, right? There's the beginning and then the start, right? The start of the day, the start of the race, the start of your mom. Excuse me. So, what's the next one? TArray contains. Compare. Can I compare these? I mean, yeah, it's possible for me to compare them. Oh, contains. Wait, what am I talking about? Wait. Wouldn't I need to do I would want to return what tputter void. Wait, what is that? Origin? Is that what I'm looking for? I have an origin, right? Or I want this, right? I should remember that. Is less than. Wait, hold on. Wait, am I trying to check if it's not? No, I want to do address. I think I messed up on this. If address is less than. Probably don't need these, right? Yay, nice and easy. Compile errors over here. Oh, sugar is chewing on stuff again. Maybe I should keep my camera on. Well, I don't really want to right now. I will turn it on a minute. Sugar, you need to stop. She knows she's not supposed to be chewing on her house, dude. Hey, rabbit, man. She just will not stop chewing on things, dude. Huh? Missing default template parameter. Class equals nil. And so class equals nil is going to make it an ASCII object. All right, nice and easy. Wait. Right. Cout is not a member of this. Well, yeah, don't I not? Okay, so what do I put here? I need to put a default. Print 2. Or I just get rid of this. I don't like this. I'm trying to find a better way to go about doing this than this, but this um really does vastly improve compile speed, especially on a larger project. Avoiding compiling IO stream header a bazillion times is extremely important, dude. Especially given that I have a 3-file translation unit. Sorry, no, it's not a translation. I have it's not a module because there's C++ modules. Usually I would say it's a module. But what is a module? I mean, anything could be like a submodule. Like a module is, in my opinion, what I consider a module is like an embed module. You go look up embed, it uses the Mercurial revision control system, not GitHub or Git. So what is a module? A module could be one file, and then the module could have the module or the submodules inside of it. So a module could be like, it's a type of encapsulation, and ideally you should be able to take a module and drag it from one computer, take it from one computer and put it on another with no problems. That's what I consider a module, like modular, you know. I don't consider C++ modules modular. They don't stand alone by themselves, if you ask me. They're not just code I can download and it stands alone by itself. So what am I doing? This thing, I just don't have access to that right now. I'm just going to have to do it by hand. Or you make a function to do it, I think. Oh, I don't have a count. Oh, so many errors. Bytes, words. Wait, so what is the... Yeah, because I don't know if this is a bytes, do I? No, this is the AutoArray. It's not bytes. It's, yeah, it is. Yeah, no, because this is, yeah. No, we store it in the total, and then the bytes calculate. TArray bytes. All right. So we just got rid of that. Is this going to compile now? No. Oh, so close. What a tease. Insert array. This is the unit test. This is not what I'm trying to do. So here is something that was an artifact. Right? This works pretty good. And count. With an array, we don't have a count, do we? So white. And then the count is 0. Okay. Ouch. Ooh. Oh, ouch. Damn, bro. Shit, son. I wonder if I could set the default font so I don't have to do this shit. All right, so what happened? Why do I have result is equal to testing 1, 2, 3? Okay. Oh, because I yeah, because they added this. This is my test thing. Okay. So it says count 1 and then. So count 1 means that there's one nil term char on there because this is a stack of chars now. So then oh right, because I only have 8. Is that why? Is that what's going wrong? So why do I have 16? Oh right, because it's storing, it's initializing this as bytes, right? Because here in line, this is why it wasn't complying with the ASCII data spec. Was that I was storing the string as an ASCII object, which stores the size in bytes. All right. And this is different than an ASCII array, which is going to store the size of the data or the values or whatever in elements. Because let's say you have an 8-bit array of 8-bit signed integers. What does an 8-bit array in ASCII mean? That means you're storing the index or the total size of the array as the first element, right? So it's confusing, but it's eloquent. It's not really confusing. It's just, in fact, the only way that I can get it to work is the not confusing way. It's just something you have to learn because it's just how the memory works. So I am actually overwriting the array, aren't I? Oh, so that's why it said the first one should fail. Right. So there was a comment up here that said the first one should fail. And then I was looking at it. I'm like, no, dude, there's 16 in the buffer. The first one's not going to fail, dude. That's just crazy talk, right? All right. I see what's going on. I see what's going on. We have an erroneous initialization where I'm initializing it as wait, is this an auto object? What is an ASCII object? An ASCII object auto grows from the stack to the heap. Okay? Utilizing this really simple method. It works really good, but then, I don't know how to do like unique pointers yet with this. With the dynamic memory. I can do unique pointers pretty easily with my API. Well, yeah. I don't know, but pretty easily. Well, yeah, for the user it's easily, but for me it's not. So let me take this. Let me try to see if I can put 7 of them in here, and if it doesn't error, I bet it'll work. No, we don't want that one. So let's try start plus 7. Let's see if it bugs. If it overwrites that buffer. I bet won't. Oh, it did. Yeah. Well, probably because let's try to do 2. Probably because I'm including the header size in there. I bet you if I do 2, it'll work. There you go. Right? Yeah. I am correct. That is why the buffer is not working, because I did not set the initialization of the string was incorrect. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be a good host and show my face, right? No, I like this camera a lot. This is the Avaya HC020, and you can get them on Amazon for like $50 right now. I think they're even less than $50. They have an HDMI port on them. It's 4K, 2.8 millimeter fisheye lens on it that they use digital software to dewarp, and it's fixed focus, so they got to be an arm length away in order for you to look good. But if you put enough light on them, damn, dude, $50? Get out of here! Get out of here! All right, so how am I initializing this? This is the stack. Where's the string? Why do I keep going back to there? I need to close everything because there's just too many of these guys open. So string, and then what do I look? Need string HPP. And then is it T string and name? So here's the size. It's supposed to say total. And this is a technicality of ASCII objects. So an AutoJect is what? So here's the problem with that one. So an AutoJect could be an auto array or an auto object, right? And so that's why it's not just an automatic object. It's AutoJect because arrays in ASCII store the element count as the first array element, right? So it's got to be assigned integer So if I have a 32-bit array, ASCII array, I would have to store and let's say it's a float. Let's say I got an array of 32-bit floats. So I would have to store the size as a 32-bit number. If I had an ASCII array of 16-bit types, though, I could do 16, 32, or 64-bit for the size because it just has to be memory aligned. It just, because if it's not memory aligned, you're just throwing it away. So I repurposed those for extended ASCII types, and we're doing extremely powerful things with those non-memory aligned types. So here's the T string in the total. How is the total going from when I init this? Total init. So it starts out at 8. Just have 12 that. I like this a lot. Does that do anything? We got bytes. Where am I? Let's look for time size up. This should instantly tell us exactly what it is. Size bytes. That's perfectly fine. That's it? Huh. Okay. So why is this saying? Let's look at T string. T string print. Maybe. Ugh. Those boys. I don't know what to do with the dirty boys. These bunnies. I guess we just got to give them baths once a week. They like the bath. They like to sit there and lick themselves after the bath for an hour. You just got to stick a heater on them, and then you dry them off, and get them to the point where like they're slightly damp, and you can throw them back outside. Because like bunnies get rained on. I don't know if you know this or not. It's actually a thing. Some people swear up and down you'll kill the bunny if you give them a bath. It's like, dude, you're ridiculous, man. Let me get this straight. You can bathe. You can't. You can bathe any animal except for a rabbit. Okay, this advice has really harmed a lot of bunnies, dude. You got to give a bunny a bath if the bunny needs a bath. I just wish I had my bunny cam set up so you could see the bunnies. I get the bunnies. I get cameras. I got like a bazillion cameras, but right now it's just kind of messed up. Everything's messed up, and it's been like that for a long time, unfortunately. It's getting slowly but surely. The studio's got like 40 cameras in it. Went down. 10 cameras. So 40 cameras is a little bit easier. I wish I didn't get distracted so much in my hour seconds. I'm not supposed to get distracted, but when I get distracted, I just work a little bit extra long. Best if I only do an hour and I switch over to something else. That's the whole point. It's totally okay if you just like work on your side project all day, though, dude. If this is just what you do, like let's say you do your hour seconds correctly, exactly 1 hour per day. Okay, and then you move on, you do your primary project for like 2 hours, right? Okay, so then let's say it comes to the weekend and you're just used to doing your side project for an hour with that timer on every morning. It's just like automatic for you to do that, right? I'm telling you, this is the most productive that you could physically possibly be, dude. You got to get good sleep. There's definitely no bit of tiredness with me right now. And so, what is the problem here? Problem is that the total is reading. Why does the total read? So I'm not like I'm doing it this way. So the parameters are in the right order. I can't really mess that up. This is but it still says total 16. I just don't understand how that total equals. Like, I'm setting the total here, and that's how. And then I reset the string. Okay, it's fair. Where's reset? And I'll put that closer to the other one. I don't really want that next to that down here. Do I really need to do this? I don't know if I need to do this like this. Maybe I'll just do decert putter. It's okay for us to have a null object. Wait, so wait, hold on. What's the difference between does a null object just have a size of 0? So size could be a total or a size or a bytes. Total is array elements, and then bytes you would have to multiply that times the size of the type, and then add the header size to get the bytes. I just don't understand why this is bugging. Is this correct? The T assert putter? Isn't this T putter is valid? I mean, that's going to work. What do I have access to here? Test.h. Maybe I need to put putter is valid here. I'm okay with doing it manually here. I don't think this is going to change. What might change? I definitely might add a user defined pointer range. I might extend it to 2 times the so right now, if you return a pointer that is less than 256, or less than the error count. it's going to, that is not, it's like a null pointer with the error code with it, which I think should be standard. There's no reason why. Are you really ever going to get a pointer that's at OX 0203? Come on. Come on, dude. This is an error. If you ever get a pointer that's at memory address 20, it's not actually a pointer, dude. Right? So I think there's wisdom to this. It's physically impossible for you to get a memory address that low. You want to know why? It's physically impossible. Because first off, you're dealing with a 64-bit memory address, or even a 32-bit memory address. Let's say you're going to get a random base offset address. Okay? And so that random base offset is going to get changed by the operating system to conceal the actual memory address, because you're working with like a virtual memory address space for security reasons, because it would be a nightmare for all the processes to share the same memory. So you have to have this system set up. So what was I saying? Total is 16. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Look at the auto string. Look at the buffer. So we got a buffer, total init, and then what is the buffer doing? Oh, hey, look, this isn't big enough. Right, I got it. Right. No. Do I take this? Hold on. I'm passing in the total, right? No, I need the size bytes, right? And then, how big is this thing? Where am I sticking it in the buffer? Right here. Size words. And then size words is what? C size words bytes. Oh. Right. So the buffer has a size of T and then a class. So this should take care of it, right? Damn, I thought I found the error. I was so stoked there. I'm like, yeah, it's right here, yeah. Maybe is a stack not. Let's look at the stack real quick. The auto stack. What's the auto stack doing? I can't wait to compile all this stuff to one header file. It's going to be so great. Well, hold on. You would need. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be able to compile to a single file header pretty easy. I might have to do 2 files. But I don't want to do that. Wait. A stack. All right. And then. Wait. Where am I getting the bytes? T stack bytes. Wait. Hold on. Isn't this the buffer bytes? Hold on. Yeah. No. Well, we'll get that from this. T stack bytes. Gonna do the math. So this is fundamentally the difference between the ASCII object and the array. Is that the ASCII object has the size, and then the array would just store the total for the thing. So T stack bytes is what does that tell me? How did I get 16? I'm just kind of confused about that, because I'm a little bit confused because it looks like I'm setting it right. And then, what do I need? T-string print. Look at that one again. I don't see that it's this appears to be perfectly fine. I would like to make this slicker. This I could improve. It's not too bad. Total T-string. Well, let's look at the size byte. Let's add the bytes in here. Whoa, my stomach is growling. What is it? T-string bytes. STRP. This is why I like that, because it's just brainless. I don't have to deal with it. STR. Wait. Bytes 24. Okay. How many bytes should it be? It should be 8. Is it what are we working with? It says we're working with UTF-16. Why am I doing that for my first test? Wait, that's the wrong one. Let's look at this. Oh, how'd that get close? Okay. Oh, because it's running through all the things, right? So it just passed all the things. That's why it's working with that. So 1, I get total 16. This is the chai, which is an 8-bit Unicode character, 32-bit signed integer. C means 32-bit. D means 64-bit. So what do we got? We got count 1, and total is 16. Where does it get this? Here, let's throw a breakpoint down at the bottom of this. Run that just to get rid of that noise in there. Wait, what's going on? Oh, I print the other quote, end quote there. Okay. I just love this line F. The string F library is great. Definitely my favorite Unicode library, of course, because I wrote it. But it's so great. You got to admit, line F is pretty cool, dude. That's how I made these things. Line F makes a line all the way across the console. You just got to put 3 tokens in a row. I've never really found it to be a burden to use, because you could just string it in. You just put the line F in with a bunch of different other things. Like you put hex F if you want to make hex, or you do chars F if you want to print out the characters to inspect the memory. That thing comes in handy all the time. I will add more advanced hex stuff later. I just have no ability to think about it shit. So total 16. I have to figure out why the total is being set like this. It needs to happen in the T string init, or whenever I'm getting the value. But I'm not doing anything with it. And then string reset, what does that do? T string begin, count equal to 1. T string begin. Wait, what am I doing? And then it just resets it. Okay. How do I inspect to make sure that I'm getting the right thing? Wait, how many bytes would this be? We got a cha A is C. Is C. It's going to have 4 bytes. We're going to start out with 8 characters. Because I have here, what happens if I do this? Let's inspect this and look at what happens when I put this up to 10. Then the total goes up to 18. So what would that factor be? Got it. But I'm not modifying the total. And then the bytes, how would I get 26 bytes? This was weird because, like, I would have 22. I would take 26. I would subtract the size of the class. Oh, wait. I forgot. There's 2 of those. Oh. Okay. So that would be. So there's 2 of them, right? So an Izzy. Oh, shoot. No, that is correct, right? Because, hold on. I have a cha A buffer. I have an is C. So I'll have 2 of those for the total and the count. And I'm out of coffee. Damn it. Oh, time's up. No way. Am I being dumb? No, because the total's still supposed to be right. So 16 plus 8 is 24. So it's counting the total. It's summoned. It doubled the total. But it hit. Where is that? Where could that be? Couldn't be there. I'm not doing any sort of like pointer arithmetic optimization that I botched because they're in the wrong order. I'm doing it the slow way here on purpose. You're gonna do it, it's bugging out this way. Shoot, I might as well just do it the fast way, right? I don't care. Well, it's not gonna work when you're doing it the simple way. Might as well just do it the right way, right? We're based on a data specification, so it's okay to hard code something like that. Reset. When I do, change this reset to. Wait, string reset. Why would I reset and not return the? Let's look at this. What do we do here? That's it. String reset. Huh? What the hell? I hate it when that happens. I'm not even calling it. The init function. Reset. Huh? Where else did I reset that? I reset it here. Wait, what did I just replace this with? I'm sorry. I wasn't even paying attention to what I just replaced this with. Was this Bozo? The clown? No. No, that's fine. But certainly, I'll take that over that for sure. Especially since I wasn't even calling that one. Kind of hard to knock that code. So bytes is there. Let's look up total, every single instance of the word total in this document. All right, there we go. Total. Wait. I missed one. Stop. The way it works. Bytes, that's fine. Cursor equals total. Why would I do this? Where did total even come from? This is why I want to only do it once. Don't repeat yourself. Cursor equals total, string init. Wait, aren't I doing it? String init. What do I? Don't I have to wipe this thing? Oh. I don't know what I'm gonna do then. Origin. Hold on. The array wipe. What is back? Where did I get that? The object fill? No, that's not right. What? There's no TArray fill. I mean, this kind of isn't consistent. Here, we just gotta do that by hand. And make it consistent among all of them. And what else was I was looking at? This is the array fill. Wait. Stack wipe. What's the difference? TAutoject. And this one wipe. TArray fill. Array fill. Stack fill. Array fill. Count. Okay. Array fill. It seems to be okay. Where's array.h? HPP.h. And then this doesn't bring in anything, so this is safe to do it this way. Stack fill, array fill. not array wipe, right? It's array fill. What did I put in the debug? T. So here's array fill. T array wipe. Wouldn't I have to do T? Oh yeah, I need these on this, on all these. All right. Then we would need T, an object wipe. Wouldn't I need the how am I doing this? What am I doing with this? Object wipe list. T obj wipe. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of them. This thing is not going to be what I want, will it? DRAM wipe. So T D object wipe. That's the origin. Wouldn't I need the class? Call it a class, ASCII class. Object class, right? OBJ. Where's debug? Wait, did I undef this? Array fill. Isn't it white? Undef D stack. Oh, SCK. White. ARY. What is the other one? What's in there? Now I need the debug. OBJ. A stack. Object white. I mean, wouldn't I have to do this? But I can't find. Where are these? Is there T array wipe? What about? Did he say wipe here? No. Nothing in here says wipe, huh? Wait. There's too many files open. An array. Array wipe. Probably want to put it up at the top. Array, why that doesn't make any sense. Array white. Do I want to say white? Wouldn't I want to do fill? Right. Is there already a TAutoject fill? Okay. And then I need the fill char equals 0. It's fill. Fill char. All right. This is it. What the hell is this? Oh. And then the macros need to get updated now to debug. All these things need to be array fill, t-stack fill, array fill. TAutoject fill. Just gonna take the TArray fill. All right, now we go to a stack. What do we do? Put it right after the print. T-stack fill. Okay, so this one already has it. T-stack fill. What do I do with this one? I'm passing in a void. Sure, yeah, let's just do that because there's wait, hold on. Plus count array fill stack fill. Does that make sense? Wait. Now I could do if count starts less than 0, count starts equal count. Total minus, wait, minus 1. Okay, I mean, this looks pretty good. This is a do no harm. Or I could do return null footer. Or do no harm. Because it's just an empty buffer. So, as long as I'm not overwriting the data that's in the stack, I'm just gonna leave it. I do like the ability to set count start to 0 and then wipe the whole thing. So then T stack fill would be a stack fill. Filter. Okay. A little bit slower, but more functionalities. So what's up with the stack fill? Don't I just I don't need to do that? I'd replace that with a void, right? Fill chart. T stack fill. Oh right. This one. All right, I gotta go pee real quick. All right, so what else is going on? So we got the fill char, right? Does that work? Oh, get out of here. Compile. All right. No errors there. Still did not fix the thing. So I guess we'll keep looking for. Hold on. What is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be 2 is C's, which are 32-bit signed integers. So that's 8, right? So total bytes minus 8 is 16. So that would be total. So the total is showing up as 16, right? Well, that's the thing. Is where am I even setting it? So T stack init. Or T string init, I mean. So what don't I do? String total. Wait, isn't this thing already initialized with the... What about the buffer? What is the buffer storing again? It's got to be a problem with the buffer. I wish this thing applied to the ASCII data spec before, man. That'd be a lot nicer. Oh, man. All right, so what happens when we're sticking it in the buffer? So we get the buffer, size words is equals this one. Okay. So the size, we do not know if that's the total or the array count, but we probably do not care, right? So those words. Why am I not storing the... Wait, hold on. Wait. Don't we want to say size in it? Size. Then we have bytes. Size in either elements or bytes. And so this is why we say size. So if size is less than 0. Why does this say this? What would I feel more comfortable saying? Um, I don't think it would have any problem. I'm not going to bother with that. It's not going to help me. So, words stop, words end -1. Is that true? Star. Stop. I don't think that that's true. So we can pass in nil as the size of class. That's fine. This is fine. I'm not sure why I wasn't storing in the buffer. I'm not sure why I wasn't doing the thing. Wait. What is it? Okay. Words. Would this help? No. So what about T string in it? What are we doing with this? Where do we call this bad boy? Do I really need to do this? I don't want to do void there. So what else would I might want to do with this? Why don't we do? Oops. Ditch that. Might just switch over to all void pointers because we have composed contiguous. So, it's going to be a burden if I don't do that for people. I mean, I'm pretty sure that you'll be fine if I allow you to pass in a void pointer just because of the composed contiguous style. Usually you wouldn't do that, right? What about total equals? Is there any total equals here? That's just it. We don't even set that. Maybe I could do, what is total? What am I even doing with this? So you're, I'm not supposed to What am I not supposed to do? Aren't I supposed to already have the total? Okay, so it's an ASCII object, so it's supposed to, when I get a buffer, I'm supposed to set the what? T string in it. I just don't even have it. I'm sorry. How am I creating a string? I just don't even. I just reset it. And then I got total in it. A stack. The auto stack has what? So maybe I wasn't even looking at the right function. What is this? I got an auto stack. I don't know if I need to do that. Wait. Why would I even do that? I think that was dumb. A stack. TA stack. There's another one here. I thought it was array fill because this one's got the character one. What does AArray say? Oh, what the heck? What debug? Okay, sure. And then what do I have to do? I'm not undefined. Okay, so I need to change this to where's the array way? I guess I don't even have them. Huh? Debug. DRAM. double. D-array fill. D-array fill. Undo. Which one is it? Debug and then undo. Still doing it? Stupid. Array fill macro 3 definition. Right, because it's not supposed to be. Array. Huh? Is it? Do we got a ghost? D array fill. Might have a ghost. D array fill. We got a ghost. Oh, I hate that. I hate ghosts. What do you do? Sometimes I have to like exit. There is no D array fill now. Let's say wiper fill. Oh, I hate the phantoms. Least favorite part about the C++. Total init. A stack. Total init. All right. The phantom went away. They always do. No, it's still there, huh? So what is it? Let's look at T stack init. Total. Aren't I supposed to do? And that's the thing about that is it's supposed to give me the memory with the so let's look at the RAM factory. Right. So T RAM factory is going to get the RAM factory stack and the RAM factory heap. The difference being the one on the heap deletes. And then it calls the one on the stack. Okay? And So I'm going to store the RAM factory. Oh no, what is this doing? This is size. Wait, right. So that's be bytes, right? And then it's gonna wait. Hold on. So let me get this straight. So this might be where my problem is because it's like a subtle distinction here. You know, the arrays store the size in the element, so, and the objects store the size in bytes. So it looks like maybe I need a different RAM factory function. Right? So how is this thing getting... Do I? Because it stores the... Sure, it's going to store the bytes. I'm going to store the size in bytes as I return the object back. But I mean, I can just overwrite that. So this is templated with an ISI, which is the biggest signed integer. And that's it. I mean, this could be it. So what would it be? Oh, right. So I am initializing this with 8 bytes on the buffer. And then the header is 8 bytes. And so this is showing up as 16 byte total. Gotcha. All right. I know exactly what's going on now. So how is this working again? So this could be that I need more of these functions. I do not want too many of these functions because of ROM bloat issues. So it does appear that, all right, so with the ISI, we're going to have a limited number of these, probably 32-bit, 64-bit. Probably not going to, might have a 16-bit one. So that's not bad right there, especially given that on embedded systems, we might never ever use this code. So it's, perfectly fine for a desktop. So what's the next step? Size in bytes. One possibility is that I can make a as big of a buffer as I want in bytes, and then I can set the total. So I would do that by setting something like this. Don't I pass everything in as words so I could repurpose them later? All right, well, that changes things. Another option is to, I generate the RAM with this stuff, and then I replace the total. So where would I do that? stack would probably just call reset, right? Where's reset? Really? Is it just in the string one, huh? All right, so I would call reset on this bad boy. And what, DRAM wipe in reset? Right. Yeah, let's just move this DRAM wipe into reset. There's no reset in here. Huh. That's it, huh? Wasn't I doing T star reset? And then I'm going to put that in there. Begin bytes. So reset is... Oh, so this thing might have dynamic memory, right? So we got a AutoJect, which could be an auto array or an auto object. An auto object or auto array. Is that confusing? So maybe an auto array. All right, well, I'm going to get off of here on this stream. Been on for 2 hours. Have a good day.